Hello and welcome back to Financial Freedom Hub. Here we will show you how easy it is to figure out if a company is, or is not, able to make you financially free just by looking at its balance sheet. This video is about property, plant, and equipment, or PP&E for short. Please stick around and you will be amazed how much this one line can tell you about the company. PP&E on the balance sheet can tell us a lot about the nature and quality of a company's business. For example, companies that are in good business sectors and have some competitive advantage over their competitors do not have to upgrade their production line constantly because their product does not change and is needed by customers all the time. These companies can maintain or grow their earnings with relatively low PP&E investments and have the property to make their owners rich. Examples of such companies are Coca-Cola, Microsoft, or Netflix. On the other hand, companies that need to update their production line frequently are most likely in very competitive industries. These companies have to spend a lot of money on PP&E to keep up with the changing customer preferences or technological innovations. Examples of such companies are Ford, Intel, or Boeing. Another thing that PP&E can tell us is how a company finances its growth. A good company can finance any new plants and equipment internally, meaning from its own cash flow or retained earnings. This way, the company can avoid taking on debt or issuing new shares, which can dilute the value of existing shareholders. A company that does not have a competitive advantage, however, is often forced to rely on loans or equity offerings to stay competitive. This can increase the risk and lower the return for investors. To find the PP&E row on the balance sheet, you must look under the section called Non-Current Assets or Long-Term Assets. This section includes all the assets that are expected to last for more than 1 year. PP&E is usually one of the largest items in this section, along with intangible assets like goodwill or patents. These are assets that a company owns and uses to produce goods or services. They include things like land, buildings, machinery, vehicles, furniture, and computers. PP&E are carried on the company balance sheet at their original cost, less depreciation. Here is an example of a balance sheet from Coca-Cola, one of the companies we mentioned earlier. As you can see, PP&E is listed as $9.8 billion as of December 31, 2022. This means that Coca-Cola owns $9.8 billion worth of property, plant and equipment at that date. If we compare this to its total assets of $92.7 billion, we can see that PP&E represents about 11% of its total assets. Now let's look at another example from Ford, another company we mentioned earlier. As you can see, PP&E is listed as $37 billion as of December 31, 2022. This means that Ford owns $37 billion worth of property, plants, and equipment at that date. If we compare this to its total assets of $255.3 billion, we can see that PP&E represents about 14% of their total assets. What do these numbers tell us? Well, they tell us how much a company needs to invest in new equipment or facilities to maintain its market share or growth rate. Now let's put it into context to see how these investments are financed. At the end of 2022, Coca-Cola reported debt of $71 billion and income before taxes of about $11 billion per year. For the same year, Ford reported debt of $212 billion and loss before income tax of $3 billion. This clearly shows that Coca-Cola can finance their PP&E investment needs from their income, while Ford needs to take on additional debt to finance its production. Of course, PP&E is not the only factor that determines the quality of a company's business. There are many other factors that we have to consider, such as revenue growth, profit margin, return on equity, debt level, cash flow generation, and so on. We hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new about a company's assets and balance sheets. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and we'll try to answer them as soon as possible. Thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next video.